once a glittering, glorious form of theater. Now it is boring and unknown. Without the preservation of opera in the 21st century, thousands of years of personal history, stories, and experiences will be lost, with no hope of revival. Rich cultural stories will lose their purpose and significance. Singers will lose the ability to express themselves through the most beautiful style of singing, opera. Countless jobs will be lost, with a significant blow to the global economy. Society must understand the urgency and significance of opera in the 21st century. If we decide to wait and take this task upon ourselves, it will be too late to recover the shattered art form of opera. Hello, I am Janeway, and I am an 11-year classically trained vocal student who dreams of performing opera beyond college. I study all aspects of vocal music: choir, opera, vocal literature, and private studio. I attended performing arts school and am surrounded daily by musicians, singers, dancers, artists, and actors. And yet, opera is but a grain of sand in their vast knowledge of artistic excellence. Many of my peers do not understand opera, and they do not try to. They prioritize jazz or musical theater. Very few acknowledge opera and advocate for it. Through my perceptions of my peers and colleagues, I grew passionate about opera advocacy, as I can see opera dying in popular culture. Opera must be preserved, upheld, funded, and admired, just as any other piece of art, style of music, or form of entertainment. Opera has supported me, shaped me into who I am, and given me numerous opportunities to explore myself and make beautiful music. I want to advocate for exposure to the same life-changing experience and to preserve the art form that has given me a passion for the arts for future generations of young singers. Before musical theater, rap, R&B, pop, and country music, there was opera, unamplified, highly technical, had raw musicianship, and needed rigorous training. Deriving from the Greek blend of live theater paired with instrumental music, opera continues to hold its ancient fundamentals in both technique and artistry, even in its ever-changing state. According to the Oxford Academic, despite its origins as an art of state, aristocratic court and monarchical patronage, opera had by the end of the 18th century pressed beyond its limits as a form of official art. It forged a path in the classical realm and left a lasting impact on musical and modern history. So why is opera dying? Opera is an art form that is not very accessible to the public. Often tickets are expensive. Some operas are not easily understood, and they sometimes cater to high-class patrons. Yet people will fly thousands of miles and spend hundreds of dollars to see European museums. So the question is, why is opera not regarded with the same level of interest? Opera is one of the oldest musical art forms combining dance, visual art, literature, instrumental music, theater, and vocal music. Not only is it a historic art form, but it is also a channel for history and the changing world. Opera houses are museums. The costumes, sets, lights are the paint. The final production is the final piece of artwork. But unlike a physical painting, one that is stagnant and seen millions of times with no change, opera is always changing, exciting, and new. Opera is a history book. It's a living, breathing retelling of some of the most illustrious, complex, and rich stories of our past. Opera is a history book, one filled with stories of slaves, love, war, and a glimpse into different cultures. It is filled with unspoken stories, ones of racism, sexism, ableism, and economic struggle. These are stories of hundreds of various communities, no matter how small, which is why opera is important to all communities. As described by the English National Opera, Gershwin's Porgy and Bess tells us the story of a disabled black man experiencing love, judgment, hardship, and heartbreak set in 1930s Charleston. Madame Butterflies follows the story of a young Japanese woman who falls in love with an American naval officer. Opera provides global connections personal expression, inspiration and joy, unity, and a global shared experience. Opera breaks stereotypes such as sexism, ableism, racism, and economic status. But should we solely learn and watch existing operas, or should we fund, innovate, develop, and teach old operas into the new world? Opera companies often put on pillar operas that attract money into the company. Pillar operas refer to culturally and historically significant operas that are put on frequently by opera companies as staples in their program. But they also incorporate new, contemporary operas into their season to showcase underrepresented composers or stories and create the next pillars of opera for future generations. A prime example of excellent modernization is the Metropolitan Opera. They take the ABCs of opera, Aida, Bohème, and Carmen, and completely change the aesthetics, costume, actors, and even voice types. Their revitalization of operas create new interest, urgency to see it, and a new sense of what opera is and what it can be. According to the New York Times, the average Metropolitan Opera attendant was 57 years old. But according to 2016 General Director of Opera at Philadelphia, David Dean, their audience was primarily under 35. So how does Opera Philadelphia draw in younger audiences? The answer is that they sell their program tickets for just a few dollars, or sometimes even offers free admissions. They also create opera festivals in which visitors can choose from a variety of performances to go see. They changed the way they packed and presented opera, Devin said. This is an incredible stepping stone that many other opera companies can learn from to be able to cater for future generations. The age range of 15 to 30 years of age is the future of opera, and it is declining. The older generation has already experienced opera, whether it be through in-person means, through CDs, or through parents or teachers. But what legacy can younger generations leave in opera if they do not participate in it? The main reason that opera is dying is its lack of youth advocacy. The future of opera lies in the hands of younger generations who have yet to experience the beauty, diversity, and excitement of opera. When I asked my peers how they viewed opera, they said it was long, loud, dramatic, or weird. Only 5 students out of 3 classes polled stated that they had fully watched an opera. With our changing world where rap music and pop music dominate, opera is forgotten, thrown away, and looked down upon. However, opera blends the operatic voice with modern concepts and sounds, creating a new genre of opera that young people more closely identify with. Opera must be introduced and advocated for in schools, the media, and within popular culture. Youth engagement in opera must be put in the spotlight, and society needs to create opportunities for young opera singers to share and expand their art form. So how can we get more youth involvement in opera? Initiating more youth opera councils in each community allows for more engagement with mentors and teachers in the opera community. According to the Kentucky Opera, more exposure for youth, such as workshops, showings, field trips, free student tickets, trial lessons, tours, and courses are all ways in which opera can be revitalized for adolescents to get a closer, more in-depth look of opera. Large adult companies can create sister companies, which produce productions primarily by students, or youth opera companies. Opera is not just glitz and glam, or costumes and lights and drama. It is a real piece of art that is important to the culture of America. It is the essence of the American story, a story of freedom, artistry, hard work, and diversity. Opera not only reflects the tales of time, but also changes with the constant flow of the world. It is not just an art form. It is a piece of history that will be lost to time if not advocated for, funded, and attended. My passion for opera can be instilled in young people everywhere. It can be instilled in parents who want to pass it off to their children and their children. Opera has already created a lasting legacy in our world, but we cannot advocate for the past. We must advocate for the future, and that future is opera. Thank you.